Alright, so this semester all assignments, labs, projects, etc. are going to be submitted for marking via Google Drive. So here's your instructions on how to do that. First off, obviously, go to Google, www.google.ca. Click the sign in button up here at the top right. Okay, in there you'll sign in with your email address. For you, that will be your first name, your last name at isidore.redeemer.ab.ca. Okay, put in your password. Okay, and you will now see a screen something like this, okay, where you have access to your apps. Okay, your apps are these little squares right here beside the bell. Click on the little squares and this screen pops up. Okay, you don't need to see your mail right now. What you need is your drive. So you click on Drive and it'll take you to your Google Drive. Okay, in here is where you can create a document, where you can edit documents, okay, etc. So we'll look at, first off, creating a document. Do you have to create it in Google Docs? No, you don't. You can create it in Word, you can create it in Pages. It doesn't really matter what program you make it in, as long as you put it on your Google Drive by uploading, okay, and then sharing it with me. If you are going to create it through Google Docs, you hit the Create button. Okay, and you would select Document. All right, rather than have me type up a whole bunch of stuff, I'm simply going to open an existing file here that is a Google Doc, and that is a lab report template. Okay. Now, when you are writing up your lab report, obviously Google Docs does everything Word does. You can change your font style, you can underline, you can boldface, you can italicize, you can change the color of your text. Okay, you can subscript, superscript, you can change font type, all of that kind of stuff. Okay, you can insert tables. Okay, you can draw a table. You can select here how many boxes you want. You can insert a drawing. You can insert equations if you need to show that you've manipulated an equation or done some calculations. You can insert pictures, which is useful if you have a graph, okay, or something like that. It's easy to insert those, okay, using that function. All right. When you submit a report or something like that to me on Google Drive, the name needs to be in a certain format, okay? And that format is this. It needs to be your first name, your last name, the period you have my class in, and the name of the assignment, okay? It could be, let's say, Graphing Lab or something along those lines. That's your format for submitting your title. When you type that in, it will appear up here in the top where it says Coderre Science/Physics Lab Report Template, which I'm not actually going to change. This is the format here that you see in the box down below, okay, that you need to have your file named as so that it's easy for me to keep organized. Okay. All right. Now, if you've typed up all of your stuff, okay, and let's say you need to, you've done a graph where you have a diagram of some kind and you want to put that into your Google Doc. You got a couple of options on that. If it's a graph, okay, and you've done it in, let's say, Excel, okay, you're going to do something like this. All right, we'll just open up a graph that we have here. All right, so we've got this kind of information here in our Excel file that we've graphed. Now, it doesn't really copy and paste always very well, especially if you have an older version of Internet Explorer. Okay, this doesn't copy and paste into Google Docs very well. But you do have the option of taking a snapshot of it. Okay, in various programs. There's a Mac version of this. There's a program here in Windows called the Snippet tool. All right, so you go into All Programs and you go to Accessories. Okay. In Accessories, you will find the Snippet tool eventually. For some reason, it's not showing up here. It's probably because I've already put it down on my toolbar here. Okay, the Snippet tool looks like this. Looks like a pair of scissors with a circle. Right? When you click on that, okay, it'll give you this, and you'll notice that now my cursor has turned into a cross. Right? What I want to do with that is highlight the area that I want to copy. All right? So first off, I'm going to move things around here so that I can actually copy the thing I want, which is this graph down here. So I'm going to click on my snippet tool, and I'm going to encircle that graph, okay, with this. Now I have this. I simply click on Edit and Copy, and now I can insert that into the Google Doc that I had running. All right, I simply right-click and click Paste. All right, and allow access to the clipboard if it asks you. I think I clicked the wrong thing here. Let's try that again. All right, so we will copy, okay, and we'll go into Excel. Sorry, we'll go into our Google Doc here, and now, of course, I've screwed it up. All right, now I've got it fixed here. So we go to allow access, okay, and we should get a paste in here for some. Sorry, alternate. There's a workaround here. I have an older version of Internet Explorer, which is why this isn't working. So your workaround is this: you save this picture that you've taken of your graph. Save as, just save it anywhere. Probably your desktop, just so you can access it quickly. Okay, and we'll just write graph. Here's our title. Okay, save that there. Then you can close this up. You don't need it anymore. And then you're going to go to Insert. Okay, and you go to Insert Image. Okay, and same as any, just you have to choose it. Okay, find it here. Obviously, we placed it on the desktop. Okay, so we scroll down until we find it. All right, graph. Here it is. All right, and there it is. It appears inside the document now. Okay, you can wrap your text around it in a way that makes you able to move it around, and now you can see my cursor will allow me to move the graph anywhere I want, and the text will wrap around it. Okay, which is convenient if you want to have it in a certain place in your lab report. Like, let's say I want it right here. Okay, I put it there. Stuff goes underneath it now. Okay, and it all works out very well. All right, so if you need to insert graphs or charts or anything like that, you just take a quick picture of them. If it's a picture on your phone, you can just snap a picture of it with your phone as well and insert that image into your documents. All right, so I really don't need that in there, so I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, just take it out. All right. Now, once you have your document all ready to go, okay, you're going to share it with me. Okay, and the way that you do that is you go back into your Google Drive. I'm just going to get out of this. Okay, and you tell me that you want to share it. Okay, so what you do is you find the document again, and I'm just going to quickly make up a fake document here to share. Okay, so we'll call this, we'll title it in the way that we're supposed to. Period 3, Graphing Lab. All right, we'll click OK on that. So now we have that. I'll type in some stuff here so we actually have something. All right, if I'm satisfied with what I have, now I click Share. Okay, so I click on Share and I get the share screen. Okay, now this is obviously already saying that it's mine, but that's who you would share it with, is with me, kcodaire@redeemer.ab.ca. So you go down here to the Invite People section, okay, and you type in the email address. So in this case, it's going to be kcodre at redeemer.ab.ca, and you want to make sure that I can edit it. Okay, so you want to have this saying can edit. You also want to send me a notification, okay, that you have shared that with me. Okay, once you're in that point, then you click Save, Share and Save, and now I'll have it. All right, and then you're good. Now, that's if you're doing it with a Google Doc. It's not a whole lot different if you're doing this with a Word file or with a Pages file or a PDF, okay, or any of those. It all works essentially the same. All right, so what we'll do here is we'll just get out of this, and we'll go back to our Google Drive. All right, so if I want to share, let's say, a Word file like this lab report templates, okay, it's the same idea. Okay, I click on the check mark, okay, and I click up here, next to my picture here, or next to the bell, the share button. Okay, you click share and you type in, all right, here the names that you want to share that with, and you're off. Okay, your other option here, if it's in Word, okay, is that you can open it with Google Docs. When you do that, it should convert it automatically to a Google Doc, which means I can type in it and I can give you feedback and put comments on and things like that as I'm marking. All right, so if I do that, okay, it just takes a minute or two here for it to do the conversion. Okay, and all of my formatting remains the same. Okay, it all comes through and it all works very slick. All right. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what to do. Again, now if you want to share it, you click share, okay, and it'll come through. Okay. If you don't convert to a Google Doc and you open up something like a Word file like this one, if I click on this, it's going to give me a preview pane. All right, you can see that the background around it is black. If you're looking at one of your files and you're looking at it in this way, sometimes pictures, graphs, etc. don't come through. It is just a preview. They are there, they just don't show up. If you want to see them, you have to click on this arrow down at the bottom, okay, where you can see, and if you see there, it clicks and it shows download. That will download the entire file, including all of the pictures, and you'll see that they're all there. That's what I do if you submit it to me in that way. I'll click on the download button and I will see the entire file, including all your graphs and pictures. Okay, so you don't need to panic if you don't see them there. Okay, so that should give you a pretty good idea, okay, of what to do in terms of sharing your stuff with me. If you have made a file on your computer and you need to put it on your Google Drive, it wasn't there already, then you're going to use the upload button. Okay, so this file that you've made, this lab report or whatever, is saved on your hard drive at home on your computer. But you need to put it on the Google Drive before you can share it. So you click here on Upload. And you click Files. And then you go and search for whatever file it is that you want to share. Okay, so let's say it's, well, we'll say this one here, Proper Lab Report, Graphing Lab. All right, so it shows here that it's uploading. Now it shows the upload is complete. Okay, and then I can click over here on the share button. Okay, same dialog box comes up as before. You invite me, kcodair@redeemer.ab.ca, and you're in. Okay, now it will be shared with me, and I'll be able to look at it, edit, etc. All right, so hopefully that will help you out. If you forget how to do that at some point, you can watch this podcast and it will remind you of how to do that.